she's just like,
Why did you have to
and it starts like,
demonstrate it? No, no one wants to see that.
because
No one wants to see that,
some
buddy.
people want to see me lick myself.
No. Welcome back to an episode of the Fresh Record Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Wiley Todd, and again, joined again by my co-host, Miss Penny Cumella. How you doing, Benny?
I'm good. Did you say Miss
Yeah, Miss Penny Cumella.
or
yeah.
Miss? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great today. Definitely not panicking. Totally fine. No, the world around me is not burning. Everything
It's
that could
the
be
end
going
of
good
the
is
world
going
as
good.
we know it.
I'm like partially being sarcastic. Like there's a lot of good things that are happening this past week. So many good things in like different parts of life. So many exciting things for this podcast, which we can't really say right now, but yeah, there's a lot. Things are looking up. We got some really cool stuff on the way.
But
And
this
Wiley, is there anything that you can talk about? Like you've done some pretty cool stuff recently.
Yeah, I can actually talk about it now. So
Yeah.
yes. No, it was 2 days ago now. On Wednesday, it's June 5th, I got to host a music and film panel at a studio called Filmmakers Ranch here in Oklahoma. And that was really cool. I've always wanted to host a panel in my career. It's like always been one of my dreams to do that. So that was a really cool experience. Thank you to Richard and Amy and everyone on the panel that helped me get there. And if any of you are watching from that panel, thank you for giving us a watch. We extremely appreciate it. But yeah, a ton of things going on, like you said, Benny. But this episode, everybody, is jam-packed. We got some very exciting things happening in this episode. We were talking before this, we're in a new era in the sense of the Fresh Record, where we have
Phase 3.
Yeah, phase 3, like the Marvel phase. I like to go with eras because Marvel phases have got to shit. Let's be honest. But we talked and saw the results where we have some episodes that have streamed really well. Like you guys loving the formats we're doing, deep dives, reactions, just deep knowledge podcasts, and then like a variety of different things. But the ones that don't super well is the smaller episodes that really showcase small artists where we spent extensive times about talking about them. And we kind of agree with that, where we feel like there could be more substance to it, more things we could talk about. So this is kind of the first episode to introduce that. And this whole thing was established by shouting small artists. So we are doing that in a segment called Orange Juice that will be at the end of the show. So you'll still get that at every episode of the Fresh Record. So a lot of things to talk about. But our main topic for today, and we're not going to start off with it, but just so you guys know, is who had the best music video this week. And the reason I'm saying this week is because 3 major artists dropped 3 music videos in like 2 days span. And they're like Thriller level of production, like back in the early 70s where Thriller started off on MTV, like that level of production. And I feel like we're in a new era of music videos coming back. So we want to have that discussion, but we have a bunch of other things to get into. So let's start off with this. So I want to start off this week, Benny, with my concert I went to since our last recording of the episode that I went to.
Cool.
I went to go see Japanese House live at the Tower Theater in Oklahoma here. This was an artist I was familiar with. You know, I didn't really like deeply listen to, but like I had friends that like said like, Lynn and Annie basically saying that they loved the Japanese House. And I was like, I don't know who they are, but it seems like my type of music. So I started listening like a week before and fell in love with it. Like, honestly, that music is just beautiful and deep, very Phoebe Bridgers-esque with the turnover style of production. And the most recent album is It Ends As It Always Does. And when you bought it at the merch stand, they had it signed. So you got it, like every copy was signed, which was awesome. Like I've never seen that happen. But this came out like last year or the year before. Legitimately one of the best albums I've heard in a very long time. Might be in one of my favorites of all time, honestly. And then hearing her perform sound exactly like the recordings, like we talked about in our live music video episode, where like we want to have that when we're in concert, like hearing exactly what it sounds like. She did it perfectly. It was incredible. I do have a couple of clips of it, just very short, so let's cut to those real quick. But yeah, that was my experience at that concert. It was fun. It was fun. And that was the first one I've been to in a while. You just went to, we talked about it, the Stephen Day one. What
Yeah,
type of
I did.
what type of concert like goer are you? Because like there's people that like to go like straight up in there and all sweaty with all the people. I'm not that type of person. Like I like to be in the outer skirts. I don't need to be like, oh my God, touch me. I don't need that. I never needed that. I'm never that type of person. So just kind of be in the outer realm and get to be in my own world listening to music is more how I go to concerts. What's your more style of going?
Um, that's a really good question. So personally, I guess there's no like planned aspect to it. I think growing up, like, growing up attending shows, since I was a young teenager, my initial reaction was to get as close as possible, and like I would get there early with my friends, like we'd want to be close. Um, and I enjoy that intimacy, like where you can see the whites of the eyes of the artist that you're going to see, and you can make direct eye contact, and there's like nonverbal communication, and I love that. When I'm going to bigger shows where there's bigger crowds, definitely don't want to be up in front. That's crazy. Like, uh, for I just like don't like being squished and pushed up against the railing, and uh I like having, some space to move around if I want to go get a drink or something, or, you know, recharge my social battery, or just kind of get away from the crowd. I have access to that. Like when I saw Stephen Day last month, I was with my friend Haley, and her ankles kind of messed up, so we got there, and it's, standing room, but in the back there were seats that you could just sit in. So like movie theater style, so kind of elevated up. So we went in the back. We could see great. We got to see him very well, and the opener, Blake Ruby. Um, so I enjoyed it. It was better for me that way. I would have liked to have been closer, and we definitely could have been, because when we got in there, it wasn't too crowded. Uh, so I just think it's subjective. Like I've seen Lawrence live a few times. The first time I saw Lawrence, it was at Blue Note in NYC, and like off MacDougal Street. For those from New York, or are familiar with, that whole like NYU campus area. Um, and there were tables, and they weren't big at the time. So I was sat at a table, uh, and I think it was with one of the band members' families, because they kind of just like throw you on tables with people because that's how they sell tickets there. So and it was really cool. I was literally like right next to the piano. I'm there. It's super intimate, and I love that. Like I love feeling connected to the performer in intimate settings like that. So um when it's inorganic and you're in this massive venue and you're up close, it's not the same, because they're like, it's not as intimate. Like you are close, but it's, you still lack that intimacy, but you can still get it at the same time. I might sound like I'm contradicting myself a little bit here, but yeah, it's subjective. I think as I've gotten older, I tend to like prefer to be in the back and like see the production like from afar, as opposed to being like super close.
See, like I've always wanted to go to a festival, but at the same time, I don't want to go to a festival because I don't think I would like it because it's just standing and then you're all close up to all these people. Like Coachella, not for me, I'll never go. But like when we were young, all the pop punk bands from my childhood, hell yes,
That'd
I
be
want to
dope.
go. Like I
Yeah.
want to go. That's in Las Vegas. Come on, let's make that a business expense
Yeah.
and fucking go. Let's fucking go to when we were young next year.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get press passes.
Dude, I
Uh,
would lose my mind if we could do that. That'd be incredible.
I feel it. I feel like I'm capable of like writing an email that would catch someone's attention. Like I think I'm a decent writer. Like I have a good like
Dude,
pathos when
I
I or
would
like
love to go to that
approach to it.
festival so bad. I've been wanting
Yo,
to go for the past
Wiley,
3 years. I've been wanting to go for the
how,
past 3 years. Because
we can
guess who
talk
plays
about
there?
this after the
Guess who
podcast, but I have
plays?
ideas
No, no,
now.
no. Guess who fucking plays at this festival, Benny? Guess who? Guess who? Who is my favorite artist?
Turn over.
Yes, they played this damn festival, dude. Hell yeah. Freaking yes, I want to go to When You're Young. But yeah, I thought that was interesting to bring up because actually funny enough.
Blink,
Yeah, Blink's there. Blink
Simple
headlines.
Plan,
Simple Plan is there, yes.
Paramore,
Yep.
Fallout Boy,
Yep. Sum 41.
pa-
No,
Panic.
Panic's done. Panic's done. They're done. They're not coming back.
They're not. Oh damn, that
Because
sucks.
him and Brendan Urie, how they go fight and everything. All that. Remember all that?
Yeah,
Like the
but
whole
Panic
band.
still exists. Like
Not really,
Brendan
dude.
Urie releases music under
Yeah.
Panic at the Disco.
Yeah. They're past their prime. Like I think what was that album what was the album that was like Death of the Bachelors on? Was it
I was
called-
just gonna say,
that was a good album. Yeah.
Death of the Bat. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you weren't gonna. If you said it was bad, I
I
would have been
own
so
that
upset.
vinyl, Benny. I own that vinyl.
So do I actually. I love that album. That was
That's
a good
good.
album. That
It's good.
summer. That was like my summer album back in like 2016. I think it was. When
That'd
it
be
came
cool
out.
to do like retrospectives on albums and stuff. Like go back to them. I think that would be really cool. Not really
I'm
doing a
down.
deep dive and stuff. It's just kind of like doing that. But yeah, interesting stuff.
You know what?
Yeah.
We should do an evolution of Panic at the Disco. Would love to.
I would love to do that with every punk band. Like
We could
I
do
would
that. That's something we could do.
there is a YouTuber that kind of does
Well-
that though, but they're like very like they started when they were kids and then they were like, "Oh, let's make a song." Like like it's very much like that. But we could have a more cordial conversation about it. But yeah.
Yeah.
I
sure.
love that stuff. There is one
But-
thing yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Just to end like this like press thing going to shows or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's discuss this after the podcast because I actually have an opportunity that I think we could definitely get,
Uh-huh.
and I think you would want to do it. And if you would be down, we should do it.
We would
I'm
make
so
a
serious.
vlog. We'd hype that shit up. We'd make a vlog. We'll make a vlog at the event. We will make interviews. We'll do everything. We'll do. And I had the
Want to
gear
go to
for it.
Iceland?
Oh hell yeah, dude! I've always wanted to go. I told you this. I've always wanted to go to Iceland.
All right, so we'll talk after
Okay,
the
okay.
podcast.
Um,
We'll see what we can do.
So I want to talk about something that I did recently. So as you guys know, I'm a connoisseur of all things entertainment, right, Benny? I love movies. I love TV. I love music. I love reading. I love it all. Yeah, I live around it. One of my favorite things to do to chill out when I'm like need a break from music or need a break from movies where just my head gets like migraines or stuff like that. I tend to read. And one of the things I read the most are like memoirs about artists and things like that because I just love learning that. Even if I'm not like a big fan of the artist, I feel like I come out learning something from it, you know. One of my favorites I read was Seth Rogen's book. That's probably one of my favorite books of all time. I think that one's a great one. What's his name? The Doobie Brothers lead singer. I'm blanking on his McDonald. Fucking whatever his name is. He just came out with the book. But just recently, Darius Rucker just released his new book, Life's Too Short. This is not a sponsor or anything. I was just curious. Was not really a big like listener of Hootie and the Blowfish, but I grew up with his country music. Like that's where I know Darius Rucker. Like growing Wagon Wheel, dude. All right. Oh my god, that was my shit. Love early like 2000s country music, dude. That shit hits hard. I don't care what anyone says. So I gave this a read. Very quick read. There's like images section, but what it's told is each chapter is told in a way of he picks a song that had like a big impact on him, and then through that song he kind of goes and tells like you know, like through his story, like starting from when he was younger, but it tells it in like songs and stuff like that. So each chapter has like an impact of what it did for him. Like, he's a big fan of Al Green, like Al Green, big Al Green fan, which I love too, but like it made a big impact where like as a kid he would constantly play that album, and he could sing word for word with the album, just like getting a hairbrush and saying it. And he was telling his story with that and everything, and then how he got into a band and everything like that. It was a very interesting read, but kind of fell short sometimes in the sense of how it didn't really go into details with his country career. It was like, and my country career. Like, it was like the last 4 chapters where it was like, you know what? I really want to start country. And people are like, don't do country. And then the book kind of ends, but it's really about Hootie and the Blowfish. But like, look at this cover. He's like in his country get up. So like, why, why promote it as that? Yeah, I thought it was an interesting book. If you guys want to check it out and like curious with Darius Rucker, maybe it's a very short read and you could like break it up through months just doing a chapter, but it was interesting in how it told things. But I read better, and I wish it was more about his country career, because like Wagon Wheel is one of his biggest songs. It doesn't even talk about Wagon Wheel, not once. It mentions All Right, like, oh, and I sang All Right on stage or something like that. Like, so it didn't really go into the stuff that I wanted it to, but it was an interesting read. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because I took time to read it. So yeah, that is Darius Rucker's new book.
Awesome. Did you get a chance to read it at all?
I read it all.
Or just
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I read it all. It's already been
Oh,
done. Yeah.
okay.
That's why I
Did
said
you do the audio?
Yeah, I read along with the audio. Yeah. He
Cool,
did
cool.
the audiobook. He narrated it.
Nice.
So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
intimate. I like that.
Like Seth Rogen
That's
did
really
that.
cool.
A bunch of
Mhm.
people do that, and I love it when they do it because it adds like an
Yeah,
extra
that's
layer to it. Yeah.
yeah, that's smart. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Cool.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just so you know, like being completely transparent here.
Yeah.
When you mentioned Darius Rucker, like I knew he was a country artist, right?
Yeah.
So naturally I go to Google because I don't listen to country music. I don't really know much about him. So it wasn't until we like discussed this podcast and what we were going to talk about and that I found out he was the lead singer of Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So that's pretty cool. I'm not familiar with his music. I'm a city boy. I grew up in Brooklyn, so country music isn't or wasn't popular for me growing up, and
You haven't heard
the
"Rock
environment.
Me, Baby, Like a Wagon Wheel"? Rock me, baby, any way you feel. Ooh, mama.
I haven't.
Rock me. Dude, that song.
I'm so sorry.
Is a. You know what?
I'm so sorry.
Let's cut to a clip of that fucking song.
Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel.
Yeah, so if you haven't heard that song, check it out. It's a banger, but you guys got a little taste of it. It's really good. I love that track.
Cool.
So,
yeah. Well, that's cool. That's cool. I'll definitely take a peek at the book just because you seem very passionate about it. I trust your judgment.
I think I was more passionate about the first book I mentioned like a couple of podcasts ago, that one I hated, that I said don't listen, read or whatever, that like 60 songs. I think I was more passionate about that one.
More passionate about hating it.
Yeah, that book was not it. Not it. Speaking of books, actually, Spotify. The reason I said speaking of the books because they moved into audiobooks, but they talked about raising their prices. And this is an issue. If you guys are listening to the podcast that you don't know, Spotify is notorious for not paying their artists well. They do pay their artists, but their payout's not great. And you hear from a lot of artists that they don't get paid barely anything. So where they make their money is on tours with merch sales and things like that. So it came out that Spotify was increasing their prices, but not changing the pay of the artists at all. So this is kind of a big issue that needs to be fixed because other streaming platforms are doing better payouts, like Apple Music, and Spotify is doing not good work here.
Yeah. So I took a quick Google search just now. It's saying that they're claiming that the increases were necessary so that they can invest in and innovate their product features and bring users the best experience. So I don't know exactly what that means, if it's gonna like contribute to like the algorithm, maybe it's gonna have like more, maybe like an AI powered algorithm that's gonna, give listeners a more fine-tuned music suggestion pool. I think they do a good job already.
Yeah.
Um,
There's
I know
also the
they've
audiobooks have been a big thing, because what you do with the audiobooks, I don't know if you know this, is where you are provided a certain amount of hours to listen to an audiobook, and then like it refreshes like every week. So you have this time. So like
oh cool.
they're paying the rights for these books, and we're getting them for free, but not fully. And you have an option to buy it. But I think a lot of that money's going to that thing, because I watch some book YouTubers that are getting sponsored by Spotify nonstop saying, look at these audiobooks you can listen to. So they're really trying to push this thing down people's
That's
throats.
cool.
It's not cool for the
Yeah, and
artists for music, like, yes, it's cool
well,
for like book fans and stuff, but
that's
for
true.
artists, it's awful.
Yeah, it's unfortunate like how streaming itself kind of just like changed the whole dynamic of like income for artists. Um, like like we both studied music business. I study music business. You're graduating. You've graduated. You will be done with your
Yeah.
last with your thesis and shit. Excuse my language. Sorry. Uh, within 2 weeks. That's awesome. But like like all of like an artist's revenue is not dependent on streaming. Like it's just like we don't even consider it anymore. The only artists that like really see significant income from it are ones that are, seeing like a couple 100,000 streams on a song, a couple million. That's like when you start seeing the, revenue come in. So, I think there will definitely be a price like payout increase to artists, I think, in the near future.
You
But
have
like
that much faith in the industry, dude? That's crazy.
yeah, I do. Like I know people that work at Spotify personally, and
Yeah.
like these are constant conversations, especially like when you yourself are an artist or you work with artists. Um I think like I'm just curious as to what they're going to change. I like that they're pushing merch now on Spotify, so that kind of opens up more
Yeah.
doors for artists, because prior to that, art like people had to go on artist websites or their social media to even get to that point where they will see merch. And now Spotify's providing that platform, and I don't think they even take a percentage from it. I think it's just like a
I feel like they
gateway.
have
So
to, though, don't you? Like if it's on their thing, it feels like, because they are
they don't
making
have to.
they are making things like Spotify exclusive records.
Let's
So
see.
there is no way that they're not
Well,
taking any profit from
that's
that.
different. If it's a Spotify exclusive thing, then they're
Hmm.
licensing it.
But
So that's
like
different. Let me
here
double check that.
here's my argument with the like with changing
Uh-huh.
Spotify's like platform and what they're doing is, when you get to like playlists that are like made for you, which I obviously like, but
Uh-huh.
there is no balance of it where like new music coming out, right? Like there is, like you said, we've had this discussion on the podcast where the new music is set to you. As someone that wants to discover new music, I want a one that's just not curated to me. Like that's a point, like this is what's coming out. Give me that playlist that's not curated to me.
They have plenty of those.
Yeah, but they're not
There's a
like on for example, right?
uh-huh.
Apple Music has like a new music daily that is not that. And then they have like new and R&B that says updated 3 hours ago every day or whatever. I go on it and it's all stuff that
Yeah.
are not curated to what I've listened to, and I personally like that more because I'm
Cool.
gaining new knowledge to music.
So like I don't have experience with the Apple Music
Yeah,
subscription platform
I buy
at
both.
all.
I buy both because I need to have some balance. Plus, I like different ways to listen to my music. It's a personal
Mhm.
taste of mine.
So, back to the merch thing with Spotify, they don't take cut from artists' merch sales at
Okay,
all.
that's good at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, because I remember when we took the music marketing class, like the
Yeah.
direct to fan strategies and merchandise class, we went over this. So, uh, yeah, it's good. So I think that's great that they're
Yeah.
pushing that, and
That'd be
that's
scummy
visible.
if they were doing that, though. Like honestly.
Yeah, it would be fucked. It'd
Yeah.
be fucked up.
But like,
But I but
Yeah.
with that being said, I wonder if Spotify is using this pay increase to implement more opportunity for artists to make ancillary income. Like who knows? Maybe we'll be able to buy tickets to concerts. I know that they link
Like, yeah,
you to like events now, but maybe there'll be a platform that's
no
going to be introduced to
Ticketmaster.
Spotify,
Get that out
like
of
a
there. Yeah,
Ticketmaster collab or something,
yeah. Well,
And
no,
that itself,
screw
it's a whole other
Ticketmaster.
conversation with
Awful.
fucking
Yeah,
Ticketmaster. They're robbing people.
yeah,
Like for Leve, right? Me and
yeah.
my mom bought the tickets, and then she canceled the show or like postponed it, and then we had to get a refund because we couldn't go,
Yeah.
and we lost like $300. It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Well, it's
Like
like
it's
plane
actually
tickets. It's like
insane.
plane
That's so
tickets.
fucked up.
It's like plane tickets, where you get screwed over. But here's the thing about the Spotify and using that money. I think that's going to things like this. So I got an email the other day from Spotify for the
Oh,
band Wallows, who just released a new album.
oh,
Um
I did too
yeah.
actually. Like in app, I got it.
Yeah. So what the
Yeah.
notification was, if you guys were not aware, is they were having a listening party inside of Spotify. So I attended to this just to have pictures for it. So I'm going to throw them up on screen. So this first one you're seeing here is when you first enter. So you sit like you're brought into a web page, not an app, and it's like on the top it has Wallows as you see, as like the speaker, and then you have a chat of people talking. It shows how many people are listening. So like they would talk, and then what would happen is they would play music, and then pause it, and then talk to it, bring a fan in and enter them. And that's the next image where there's a fan in and bring in. I thought this was so cool and innovative because as someone that
Mhm.
lives in a small town like Oklahoma, like not much comes here. There are some times where you have like record store day releases where you can go listen to the album like a day early, and they don't come to Oklahoma often. So having things
Mhm.
like this available to people and have this interaction sounds incredible. Like I love them to do more this type of stuff, plus pay their artists fairly. So I do think it's extremely interesting. This conversation, I think it's going to continue just to go and unravel over time, obviously, because this industry is kind of just always twisting and turning. But to have more things like the listening parties and the more ways to pay artists. So like if you are not going to pay them fairly, find other ways to get them paid fairly. Um, or don't do that and just pay them fairly. They need, because if artists are failing and can't provide for themselves to continue to make music, then Spotify fails. They are symbiotic. You can't have one without the other. So yeah, it's just a crazy conversation, this whole thing. But I definitely wanted to touch on it because it needs to be
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, 100%. Especially like like people are listening to this podcast on Spotify
Yeah.
right now. I mean, like not right now, but when it's released, it'll be right now if they're listening in
That'd
this
be
moment.
weird with the video not
Thank
up and they're
you.
listening to it.
Yeah, but thank you if you're listening. But these
Yeah.
people are paying for this subscription. They should be knowing that the price is going up. Like
Yeah.
I had no idea until
You
I saw the
didn't?
articles. Like, okay,
Okay.
I saw. Yeah, yeah. I'm like, nobody emailed me. I didn't get an email from Spotify saying, "Hey, we're increasing your plan." Like I pay for my family's plan. That's $3 more a month.
Yeah.
$3 is like, I don't know, milk. Like I could drink milk for a week with that money. That's important. You need to drink your milk, okay? Or your orange juice. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
uh,
so
but
if you don't mind, Benny, I would love to talk
what's
about
up?
an album that just dropped. Um, and it's honestly become a one that I first initially listened to and I was like, okay, but the more as time has gone on has become like one of my favorites of the year.
The Marias?
Yes, the Marías Submarine
Yeah,
album. Okay.
cool.
This album is so damn interesting and cool, even down to the marketing of it. So like before the album dropped, it had like 4 singles off of it, and I found this band through my friend Jose, who sent me one of their songs that I fell in love with and had it on like repeat for years. So when they were releasing new music, kind of got me excited, and I was like, I liked one of the singles a lot, and then I kind of just went, okay, I'll just wait till the album comes out. Then it dropped. I listened to it all the way through, and I liked a couple tracks, but dude, the song Echo on this album has become probably one of my most streamed songs of the year. I cannot stop listening to this track.
Oh,
It
awesome.
The chorus is just so angelic and such a good vibe, and I just love how it makes me feel. It's just beautiful.
I'm gonna pause you right
Yeah.
there. Why don't we insert a clip of that real quick?
Okay.
Just put some context in.
It's over dramatic. Headed back from New York. 'Cause we
Yeah, this song makes me fall in a dream state, dude. I just love it. It like
It's got
Yeah.
that vibe for sure.
I was
100%.
so like songs like this, it's weird because when you listen to like when you ask people what songs pump you up, you go to like rock classics or like a Don't Stop Believin', or you go to like some EDM. But no, this type of music hypes me up because it's so like catchy and like the chorus is so like nice and you want to sing along. That's what hypes me up, and I love it. It just brings me so much happiness when it happens, and I just yeah. Did you get a chance to listen to this track or the album at all in any sense?
So I listened to the song Echo, which
Yeah.
is what you're talking about
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. You sent it to me. Yeah, like that's not music that I listen to,
Mhm.
like on the reg. But it was so good, it was really easy listening. Like that's something that
Yeah.
I could listen to and just like chill out, relax, get some work done.
Yeah.
Um the production's great. How do you like, are they well known?
Not really. Their
Oh,
monthly listeners are. I don't remember the number exactly, but they're not really well known. But like when you say their name,
let's see.
I think it would come up when some people that would know them or not because their tracks get pretty decent listens. Um,
Oh,
but yeah,
they've got 11 million monthly listeners.
yeah.
That's a
So they
lot.
have a fan base and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they're signed. They're
Yeah.
signed to Atlantic.
Yeah, one of the cool
So,
things about one of their marketing campaigns for the new
uh-huh.
album is they released an album that has a outer sleeve with water in it because there's the record and then the outer sleeve has like water in it, and the lead singer came out saying, "Oh, you can buy my bath water in a inner sleeve." I'm like, that is weird. I don't know if I messed with that. Then it came out like it was like, no, it was a joke. It's just water in the outer sleeve. And I was like, that'd be a cool gimmick thing for me to buy. But I was like, I don't want them to get like that get opened and then it gets all over my other records. That would be awful. So
Yeah,
I did
that's
not
pretty
do
cool
that.
though.
Yeah, I think it was a really cool thing for them to release, and that's new to the industry. And I love people because like a lot of people are putting out cassettes more now, and everyone's put CDs, and people. It's just physical media and music's becoming a big thing again. So doing things to innovate it and change it, little things like that, I think I love. Like a record, getting a record with a signature on it. Like there's a couple artists that I bought, pre-ordered their albums that have a signature. You got me one for graduation. You got me the Remy Wolf one. So like,
That's right.
yeah. So I'm
Very excited.
yeah. I had to talk about that album because I'm probably if it ends up in my top 10 of the year, that's probably the next time I'll get to talk about it. But I really wanted to mention it here. So because I know that I might not get another chance to talk about it, so I wanted to mention it. Another thing I would like to bring up, if you don't mind, Benny, is Eminem's new song.
Okay, Houdini.
So this one's kind of to say that like people are like loving it is not an understatement. A lot of people are just like really eating this up. And I strongly dislike this song, dude. The Houdini placement on here. No, abracadabra, sorry. The abracadabra of freaking interpolation and placement, whatever the hell it is so awful. Like, don't get me wrong. It's cool to hear old Eminem, like the classic Eminem that we grew up on. I like hearing that sound. But like that, as soon as I heard abracadabra, I was like, I'm done. I don't like this. I don't like this. And that's the case. Did you get a chance to listen to this thing?
Yeah, I did. So when I was listening to it, I was imagining myself critiquing it on the podcast.
Yeah.
And people can be so passionate about artists and be so critical. And you like, to everybody listening, you guys got to understand that like our opinions that we're bringing to the table, we didn't listen to these songs for like weeks, and we have like a really strong opinion on what we're saying. Like what we're saying is just a face value opinion of the song. Take it as you will. We love hearing your feedback and different interpretations, especially if you're a huge fan and you're listening to it. Um, and I like hearing unbiased takes on things. But like you said, the song Abracadabra, um, is like Guess Who's Back, Back Again, whatever. I don't know how long it's been since he's released something prior to this. I'm just gonna double check
Well, he released an
because
album that was critically panned, and I did not like it too. Then he had the Venom song that kind of blew up. Like regardless of what we say about it, that did streaming numbers. So
yeah. So the Marshall Mathers LP2, which came out in 2023.
yeah,
Uh yeah, so Rap God's on that, which is massive.
that must be a
The
Rap God did not come out last year, dude. That's a re-release then.
No, so yeah, it's a re-release. Like the Monster with Eminem,
Yeah, it's a
like with
re-release.
with Rihanna. I mean, um, so it's like this was released last year, and it's crazy that those streams are still strong like
Well,
that.
he's regardless of what you say about
Like
Eminem, he's one of the biggest artists of all. He's
of
13,
all
the most
time.
listened to in the
Oh
world on Spotify. Like
yeah, dude,
he's
he's a
massive.
legend.
Yeah,
He's
he
legendary. Yeah.
yeah, but his
Um.
like I think Curtain Call, yeah, Curtain Call 2 was his most recent new album. That was in 2022. So, yeah.
So what I'm confused about, like with the album artwork, which we can post right here for reference to guys or to everyone that's watching on YouTube. It says Houdini, Guess Who's Back, and For My Last Trick. So what does he mean by that? No idea. But what I thought was interesting is that aside from like the abracadabra influence, it kind of reminded me of the song Without Me, like the bass line that's in it and that
Yeah, it
groove,
is.
you know?
It's a
So
it's a
so
playback on that because he's in the music video. I don't know if you watched the music video. It's like
of
showing him as
Houdini,
yeah, it's showing him as like a
yeah.
younger Eminem and a Slim Shady and all that stuff. It's like a callback. So
Yeah, so like I think that's kind of cool like from an artistic standpoint, like I
uh
think like aside from the music, I kind of dig that like kind of like experimental approach to kind of like referring back to his old self while also like trying to bring a fresh take on it. And I know like he like disses his children in the track and like I forget who else cuz I saw an article
he
about it,
says
but off
like
the top of my head
controversial
like
stuff in it as Eminem
y-
does. So
yeah, yeah. So I think like I'm not gonna say I think it's bad. I just again like you said, it was the redundancy of like sampling his own music and uh but it's his brand. So, for his fans that hear this, they're
mhm.
probably like the
there is
nostalgia,
like there is big
that the
fans of this
nostalgia
album.
aspect.
Like there's not album, sorry. There's big fans of
The
this
the
single.
single.
Yeah, there is big
Yeah.
fans about it, but at the same time, like it's just so cringy to me. Like just the
Yeah.
sample, it's just cringy. It's like, okay, yeah, you're getting streaming numbers, but people are not loving you as much as they did with your old music, which is that is the case. These albums don't come out and get critical praise like he used to when he was younger. So like he's trying to go back to that. He's trying to crawl back from the grave to go to his old self. It's like, you know what? I'm going to attribute to myself and then do a sample of an old song. It's like, dude, like just go back to your old rapping style and create a new song. Don't do something like this. I just don't care for it. I think it's a wheat cheese, honestly.
I respect that. I don't have such a strong opinion on it that I can say the same. Um,
Did you
but
grow up
I
did you grow
totally
up listening to his music a lot? Like when growing up, like when in his heyday?
I I mean like I'm 26, so like
Yeah.
at a young age I was exposed to him when he was at his prime.
Yeah.
Like my sister's generation, she's 5 years older than me. I was exposed to a lot of her music and whatnot, and that kind of put that on me. Um, so yeah, I mean, like, like I'm not saying I was a fan of Eminem growing up and I listened to his music,
Yeah.
but like, the real Slim Shady, Lose Yourself, Without Me, even, uh, Mockingbird to so like he I mean even the movie 8 Mile,
Yeah,
like
great
that
movie.
was huge.
Yeah.
So also there was that one song about the guy that like stalked him and was sending
Yeah.
him all these crazy letters and like he addressed it. That was also fucking sick. Like what like that
Yeah.
is such an artistic take, and I think rappers, especially Eminem, like he's really light years above so many people and what he's capable of. Like his thesaurus and his dictionary are like his bibles, you know.
Hey, I grew up on
And
Eminem. Like I love his music. I love the old stuff. It's just for years. I think let me pull up the album name actually. There was one album that he did that I liked. That was a while ago now. But that was the last time I really like got into Eminem, and ever since it's been on a decline for me. And
uh-huh.
that was the album Marshall Mathers LP. So this was 2013. That was the last time I genuinely liked new Eminem music. So it's been that long for me.
Okay.
I think it's been straight downhill since, which sucks
So
because I like Eminem.
so that was the album that was just re-released.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Last year I think it was.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
that this was a good time for Eminem as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Uh but even then, like I'm going through the track list right now, like there's not much that stands out to me aside from like
The Monsters
two the
iconic.
yeah, and Rap God. Like those are
Yeah.
the two like hard hitters on the album.
Berserk was a pretty big hit a little bit. Um yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
again, yeah,
So yeah, I mean I can't say that I'm someone who's spent a lot of time listening to his discography.
yeah.
Um so I don't like I hate trying to like force an opinion out of myself when I really am unsure,
Yeah.
you know, and I might change my mind. Um, but this song, Back to Houdini, I don't think it was bad.
Uh-huh.
I think he really put thought into like the artistic take of it and like kind of like instilling nostalgia, probably trying to get his fans hyped up for his new release that's gonna follow this. Um, and like I kind of like the like the hype up MC like intro, but I think he's capable of much more. With
Yeah.
that being
That's the
said,
point here. Yeah.
yeah. So like, I'm excited to see what's to come after this. I don't think it was bad though. I'm just not blown away.
Yeah.
That's all.
Let's talk about the track you wanted to bring up this week.
This is a really good segue into it. So, talking about comebacks, um,
Or lack thereof.
so like when when me and Wiley discussed this podcast and like trying to get episode ideas together and like structuring things, we typically have vastly different approaches originally in how we want to do things. So there's a lot of compromise, and I originally wanted to make this a whole video, and I like we considered like having me do like my own like take on it and like do like a kind of like dive into Normani Corday or Normani from Fifth Harmony's career up until what's going on right now. So, for those of you who don't know who Normani is, I would imagine that you know who Fifth Harmony is. And Fifth Harmony was probably the biggest girl group of, I don't know, like the mid 2010s, like 2015 on, up until they broke up. Or I think Camila Cabello left them first, and then they kind of stick together. And Camila has had a massively successful career. She's having an album coming out on June 26th, I believe. So that's something to keep in mind, and maybe we should cover that because she is a pop star. She is up there. And I'm curious to see what is going to come of that for her. However, if we're going to look at the rest of Fifth Harmony, Normani was like the other member who was promising. Like this is the Niall Horan to Harry Styles, of One Direction. If we're going to talk about like
hold the phone real quick. You think
Uh-huh.
Niall is second to Harry?
Currently, yeah, I you would
Wow.
probably say you would probably say Zayn, right?
I would put Zayn, then Niall, then whatever the
Yeah,
other dude name, Liam, right? Yeah.
yeah. Liam's kind of fumbled his career. I shouldn't say that, but like in comparison, like back when we're getting a little sidetracked, but just to put an end to the One Direction intersection of this, when One Direction was at their heyday, so many people were like, "Oh, Liam's gonna be the most successful after they break up. He's like the Justin Timberlake of the group, you know, like he's like the Michael Bublé of the group." But I always thought Harry was going to be, but I was impartial because I really enjoyed Harry's singing voice. Like I
Mhm.
just thought he had a very unique voice compared to the rest of them. You know, I just like his vocal style. It's just my
Yeah. Hey,
personal
you were right
preference.
at the end of things.
Thanks.
Look, he's like
uh,
he's massive.
yeah, yeah, and I think we might have had this conversation before, but in reference to that, and the reason why I say that, Wiley, about Niall is because I think Niall has had more commercial success at this point than Zayn. Despite Zayn being incredibly talented and being already nominated for a Grammy, despite not winning one, um, Niall hasn't gotten to like Grammy nomination status, but that's not everything, right? But he's had success. People love him, and he's like, if you go to Ireland, God, Niall's like a god, or is it Neil? I don't know how it's pronounced. My bad. I think it's Niall.
I think it is
But
now.
yeah. So back to Normani. Normani, if we're gonna whatever it is, she is second to Camila in terms of the group and who was finding success afterwards with Motivation, right? Motivation was a massive hit. People love that song. And it's a banger. Like you listen to it once and you're like that this is a great song. Same thing with Dancing with the Stranger with Sam Smith. That song was huge. That was a huge moment in her career. And I think so the whole purpose of this conversation, guys, is that Normani just released a single. There was a single that came out last month too, or like in April. This one just came out towards like last week, I think. It's called Candy Paint, the one that just came out. And it tanked, guys. It didn't even hit top 200 radio or like it didn't chart. This is a major pop artist. She was like in one of the biggest groups of the last decade internationally even.
Well, that's where
Um,
me and your
yeah,
conversation had with this discussion because you mentioned this name. I didn't know who the hell that person was. Like, I had no clue.
yeah. Also, like you said, you didn't really follow Fifth Harmony's career.
Yeah,
Like you were
but
kind
I'm
of
just
like
saying, like,
impartial.
maybe in your world that she's massive, but not in the majority of the world. You know, that's very much the case. You know, sometimes. You
Mm,
know.
yeah, but in this case, like she in my world, she's not. Like I don't listen to them. Like they are very much like Fifth Harmony had a huge place in the popular music landscape for a couple of years. That goes to show what Camila Cabello's success. I think her dating Shawn Mendes and all of that definitely helped elevate too. You know, she was always like kind of in the spotlight. Um, but they're international stars, Fifth Harmony. Like it's not even in the States. Like they're like all over. So moving out of Fifth Harmony, um, Normani was doing well, and I think there might have been a gap between the previous releases and now, and it fumbled. You know, uh, Normani has releases with Sam Smith, and then like even last month she released a song called 159 with Gunna, a song called Wild Side with Cardi B. Like she's got great collabs. She's beautiful. She's incredibly marketable. Her sound is marketable, but Candy Paint, like honestly, I just think it wasn't it. Like for a single, I don't know. If this is a precursor to the rest of the album, I'm kind of not that eager to like listen to it based off this song.
Is this
159 was better,
her
in my
debut?
opinion.
Is this her debut? Oh,
No,
okay.
no, I don't think so. Let me just double check because I don't want to say something that's not true.
Because I
Um,
did listen to the track and I honestly just could not stand it. It was not
yeah,
for me.
yeah. It looks like no, this is going to be her debut album.
Well, that's not a good sign.
So, like, she has a good track record, and who knows? Like, I maybe it's the marketing, maybe it's just the music itself.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see what's gonna happen with this album release, and I really hope that I don't want to see anybody fumble. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
I would like to see her do well. I think she has a lot of potential. So, especially like coming out of such a successful group like Fifth Harmony. Yeah, I would like to see. I just don't know what happened. Like, why did she not release an album after Motivation? It was huge. It was a huge song. And then also after the thing with Sam Smith, maybe she's just trying to like craft her sound. I don't know what was going on in her life. Um, but yeah, guys, in short, Normani released Candy Paint last week, and it fumbled. The song is not charting. In our opinion, in mine and Wiley's opinion, we don't like the song much. Like, there's nothing special about it, to me at least. I don't know if you can say the same.
EDM pop track that does not blend well with its sounds.
Yeah, it's got like a trap beat in the background too. You know,
does not
but
aid her voice at all. When she has a great voice, it does not aid her voice.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I agree. And we could go into a whole podcast discussion about her career.
Yeah.
And
you're gonna do a video when the album drops, so you can say more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely when the album drops, you guys got my word. I'm gonna cover it and go more into depth about her career and the progression that might have led to this fumbling. Who knows? Maybe the album won't fumble. Maybe she'll take off. Like, look at someone like Sabrina Carpenter. She's been in the business for so long. She's releasing her 6th studio album, and she's just now becoming like as big as she's ever been.
And
so
I think
anything's possible.
She's ever been. Thank you very much. We'll get in that discussion very soon.
The best she's ever been, you said?
Yes, but we'll talk.
Yeah,
about that
I agree, but like, you know, like, so this isn't the end of her career.
It's her debut. You know, it's her debut.
Yeah, I think I speak on both of our behalfs when we say that despite this song fumbling big time, not even charting, we hope that this album that comes out is going to negate this and kind of elevate it more.
Yeah.
We're rooting for you, Normani, but
I'm gonna give it a listen when it drops. Obviously, I'm gonna have to edit the video, so I'm gonna hear it again probably twice. So yeah, I'll really get the time to test it. So yeah.
So when the time comes, also keep in mind Camila Cabello's got an album coming out June 26th.
Ugh,
we might be able to discuss that.
Do not like her at
Oh,
all.
for all the Billie Eilish fans that come at me for saying such minimal comments, I hope the Camila Cabello fans and the Normani fans come and kill us. Just kidding. We love it. This is a supportive.
Do you fuck when I see what I'm wearing, Benny, right now?
Yeah. This is
Billy!
This is a great segue into the next portion.
No, it is
today's
not. We have
episode.
one more thing to talk about, Benny.
All right.
We got to talk about new albums coming out because there's a shit ton and there's a discussion to be had.
Okay, perfect. Camila Cabello, June 26th. Let's go.
Man, I didn't know you were so hyped about that album. So we're going to go down through a list, but I have to mention a couple of albums just right at the top that I'm very excited for. My girl, Clairo, is back, Benny. I did a reaction, if you guys have not checked that out, of the new album. I'm so excited for that. I love Clairo. I got a Clairo minifigure. You can't really see it, but it's like where my finger is right there on the thing. I love Clairo, okay? Clairo's great. Her album back in 2019 was on repeat. It is one of my, if not top 5 favorite albums of all time, her first album. Her second one, I didn't like on first listen, but as time grew on, I fell in love with it. Like, I am so excited what she's doing with this album. There's like a funkiness to it. Like, she's like really toned her sound with moving away from the city, changes the person. Like, so much good stuff is going to come from this album. If the instrumentation says anything about that first single, oh my gosh, we're ready for a great album. Then also coming up, Gracie Abrams' new album is coming out. I'm so excited for that one as well. She just released a new single today. As we're speaking, actually, we're recording on Friday. Pretty good. I thought it was okay. I wasn't a big fan. I thought the first track was really good, but it's not bad by any means. Then Sabrina Carpenter has a new album out. Please, please, please. She just released a new single along with a music video. We'll talk about that soon. But yeah, so those are the ones I want to mention. So I'm going to just kind of, I have a list here. Okay, so just kind of going in order. So June 21st, we have the Gracie Abrams album. Like you said, Kalani's new album, Lake Street Dive. Benny, you're
I was
a fan
gonna
of that?
mention. I was gonna mention Lake Street Dive, the 21st, right,
Yeah.
of June, to specify, guys. Yeah,
Anything you want to touch on that besides you're excited?
I'll be seeing them live in September. I got an extra ticket to see them at Madison Square Garden. If anybody wants to come, DM me on Instagram. We can hang out or something.
I'll come.
Because none of my friends want to go with me. I'm joking. But yeah, I'll be there September. I don't know what date, but super stoked. And I'm also getting the new album that's coming out on a signed vinyl.
Love it.
Shout out to Newberry Comics. Love you guys.
We love vinyl here at the Fresh Record. I got
Mhm.
I got a stack next to me. I'm not even bringing it up because we have so much to talk about this week. But along with June 28th, we have, like you said, Camila Cabello. We have Imagine Dragons. I hate them, but I thought we just mentioned them just for the hell of it.
Okay,
Are you a
wait.
big fan of it? Oh God, your track record's about to go downhill if you say you love Imagine Dragons.
So, what I'm about to say is that
Be careful.
there's a trend on social media right now where people are like collectively shitting on them.
It's not a trend.
And
It's
it's like,
been happening
but
since I was in high school, Benny.
it's right now it's a trend. People are doing it so much. I do want to stand up for them, that they are globally one of the biggest modern rock bands on this planet. It's like undeniable. They have a massive
It's
fan
stadium
base
rock.
worldwide. Yeah, dude, they play stadiums. Like, they're gigantic.
It's
There's
crazy that you're
there's
defending Imagine Dragons right now. This is insane. to
no,
me.
because I'm speaking on behalf of their success. You know what I mean? Like, just because, because, like, think of it this way: like, what we see online is catered to us. All the algorithms, like, we live in a world that's catered to us when we are digesting this content online. People love Imagine Dragons. The fact that
So
they're
bad.
able to sell
So
out
good.
stadiums and tour the world, crazy. I'm not saying it's crazy because they're terrible. I'm just saying that, like, there's got to be some respect given to them for that. They're also a Berkeley band, despite Dan not being from Berkeley, but the rest of them are Berkeley musicians.
Still,
So
I don't like them. I never will. It's just bad music, in my opinion.
it's like gym music.
It is gym music. Literally, I
It's
was talking to
gym
someone
music.
on the phone the other day. They were in the gym, and guess what came on? Fucking Believer by Imagine Dragons.
It's gym music. It gets you
Okay.
pumped up.
No, it doesn't. Let's move on. I should have never brought it up. Also, that same weekend we have Megan Thee Stallion dropping an album, and then we have our Mar Paulo, who I think is one of the next.
He's
big,
huge.
Yeah, I think he's one of the next big pop stars if we ever do that video. I
Es-
honestly,
especially,
yeah,
not to cut you off, but like, especially as an LGBTQ plus artist, I really think there's a huge market for that.
his
It's
first album is incredible. I own that vinyl. I love that vinyl. My friend Jose and I spun that shit so much. That album's so good.
I only know the song Evergreen, but
Dude,
it's
you
gorgeous.
need to do a deep dive
Beautiful.
on him. He is so good.
Yeah,
he
I'll
is-
definitely check it out. So if you want to send me some of your favorite songs of his, I'll definitely like put more emphasis on that when I'm listening to it.
Okay, so moving on.
Yeah.
July 12th, we have Cigarettes After Sex.
Remy.
I'm very excited about. Yeah, Remy Wolf, yes.
Remy Wolf, Cinderella, I think it's called, right?
Big Ideas, it says listed on this website, but it could be wrong. Cinderella's the single that was released out of it, or one of the singles.
Oh, it's called Big Ideas.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
single, yeah, cool.
Then July 19th, there's a new Glass Animals album, which they blew up with that single for like a whole like summer.
Glass Animals.
Yeah.
They've
You
they've
know
been
'em.
in the game for a while, right?
Yeah,
That's
they
like
had that massive summer hit. I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but like they were huge. So they have a new album coming out.
Heat Waves.
Yeah, Heat Waves.
Is that
Late
it?
night, I'm thinking about you. Ain't night in the middle. That song, in the middle of
Yeah,
June.
they've been in the game for a while.
Yeah, so that might
Yeah.
do some numbers there. That's something to look out for.
Cool,
July
cool.
16th, we have Ice Spice's new album. Again, there's things that could change and new things get released here. August 16th, we have Biba Doobie's new album.
Oh,
Foster,
okay.
yeah, Foster the People
She's
coming out with a new album too.
the Be a Booty person.
Yeah,
They're like up and coming. They're not like
they're
completely
pretty
like
big,
mainstream yet.
like big enough where they like she's performed on like late night shows. You know, like you had to be a
Okay.
certain status to do that. You know,
That's true, but also, yeah, she's huge. 18 million
Yeah.
monthly listeners in Spotify.
Yeah.
But also, there are people that get it because they're so talented or have really good connections or like booking agents.
yeah,
Like for example, Remy Wolf has performed on late night television. So has Lawrence. You know, they're both fantastic,
Yeah.
but they're not at the same level as someone like Bia Badoobie. What a
Yeah.
name! I love that. Bia Badoobie. It's so funny.
Then
I love that.
Uh,
Wait, Bia Badoobie.
August
It's
23rd,
got.
we have Sabrina Carpenter's new album.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Oh
excited
yeah.
for that one.
Is it called Short and Sweet?
Yeah, which
Is it going to be short?
I don't know. It might be 11 tracks or something like that. That's been the normal
Mm.
kind of normal route, you know, of music
Mhm.
now. But tell you what, like we were having that discussion on the next Pop Stars saying like, hey, if Sabrina keeps on this track of doing the same thing that she did with Espresso, and this next single that came out today does that shit, Benny, and that gets me
Dude,
excited.
I listened to Please 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 for the
But we'll
first
get in that
time.
discussion soon. Yeah.
Yeah, but before we get into that discussion, I gotta say, I love that song from the first listen.
Mhm.
It is so good. Like, and I don't say that often. You know, I'm very
No, you
reserved
don't.
with my music opinions. Like before,
Well,
like
you
I
throw
like
out
to
the
like
word
listen
masterpiece quite a
thoroughly.
bit, but
I wouldn't call the song a masterpiece. Like I would call albums masterpieces before a song, because like there's like a
Yeah.
cohesiveness element
Yeah.
to it, especially in production. Like I like when I say like Billie Eilish's album from a production standpoint is a masterpiece. You know what I mean? It is. But anyways, love using
Hell
that
yeah.
word. But it's a fantastic song, and it's not something that I would expect from her. You know
No,
what I
it,
mean?
like,
Like it was a little bit of a stray away
tell
from
me,
what
okay,
I would
I'm
expect.
going to say an artist name to you, and it's
Okay.
going to click with you and be like, holy shit. That's the vibe I'm
Cha-
getting off, and it works. No,
Chapel Rowan.
No. Cyndi Lauper. Very
with
much.
Please Please Please.
Yeah. Very much Cyndi Lauper vibes, especially with the music video, what she's doing. Like,
Mhm.
and like Chappell Roan like does Cyndi Lauper channel like in like looks and style of music, but Sabrina was like having her style mixed with that style of Cyndi Lauper to make her own sound, and like it's incredible. It really is.
By the way, when we did the pop star discussion, which by the way, guys, for
Thank
those
you.
of you
Yeah.
listening in, thank you. We gotten a lot of love on that, and I'm really happy because that was one that I think we were both proud of to do. But in that podcast, I was like, oh, it's Chappelle Roan, and I was so sure about it. Like I don't know why I thought it was that, but I was with my friend Veronica yesterday, and she stayed here. She was doing. She's like a celebrity makeup artist, and she was doing a client in the city. But anyways, she loves. I'll say it the way I've been saying it. She loves Chappelle Roan, but I discovered, like she's a diehard fan.
Yeah.
She was like, that is not how you pronounce it.
It's Chapel Roan, right?
Chapel Rowan.
Chapel Ronan. Okay.
Yeah. So it's Chapel Rowan, not
Okay.
Chappelle Roan or Chapel Roan.
Okay.
Chapel Rowan is how it's
Chapel Rowan.
pronounced. I
Got it.
didn't know,
No,
but
I become
I like that better though.
yeah.
I like that pronunciation better. It's kind of cool. Chapel Rowan. It's
I
cool.
I love her music. I can't stop listening to it. By the way, she's becoming one of my favorite artists to watch out for. Like,
Dude,
easily.
I think like we were talking. We don't have to get too into this, but we
Yeah.
were like last episode. We kind of got like sidetracked with like the Grammy discussion.
Yeah.
I think she might get nominated. Did you see like last week in Boston there
was-
was some like
That
music
was
festival?
that was a year ago. It's not going to be able to qualify.
Oh,
Well,
really?
Yeah, it won't be able to qualify.
Well, are you sure?
yeah, because so last year's
Because
Grammys is when it could have been nominated because this was a last year album.
when it was, well, sometimes there's like a cusp and they might
But here's the
allow
thing.
some things.
The last Grammys that happened, this album was out before that. So it would have been cut off. I agree with
No,
you.
because wait, but sometimes I don't know exactly
it's
when
weird
it was
how the
released.
Grammys work in that way, but yeah.
Yeah. Like
I hope
it
you're right.
could Wait, hold on. I'll tell you right now. Let me find out when
Like,
it
I
came out.
honestly hope you're right because I love that album. I love all those tracks on there. I can't stop watching
Oh.
interviews with her. So,
Hold on.
like, if anything, her newest single should get nominated for a Grammy. I love that track so much. So I went to the Japanese house
Yeah.
concert, right? And
Uh-huh.
before the show started, it played a Good Luck Babe, and it blew. Everyone was singing to it. It was like I have a
Yeah.
clip of it. And she's massive. I remember in that
Yeah, she's
episode,
huge.
you said she doesn't have like a big appeal. I think that's a misread.
I
dude.
didn't I don't think I said that.
Oh, I
I-
think.
I-
Sorry, you're right. You said like she's like too weird and out there to be like as these other artists. You said something along those lines.
No. I don't remember saying that, and if I did say that, my opinion definitely has changed. Maybe
Okay.
I said that. I don't know if I did,
Yeah.
but I think she has I do remember saying that like she is out there in her presentation, but that sets her apart. She's
Yeah.
unique. Like
Yeah.
she's doing something that people are embracing. And what I mentioned was just how fast her career is catapulted, and I think it's going to continue to.
And the fact that she
Um,
released that album, blew up, and then released Good Luck Babe to be a banger works in her
Yeah.
benefit. Works in her benefit.
So yeah, dude, she's massive. Like, and so last week in Boston, there was this festival of some sort, and Ed Sheeran was there, and Chapel Rowan was there
Yeah.
too. And there was issues because of the overcrowding at Chapel Rowan's
Dude,
performance.
she's so good.
Dude, people like she is a sensation, and it's
It's
happening
fine.
fast. Like this
It's
is something that
cool.
happens every once in a while. So I'm looking at it now. So it says the eligibility period for the next Grammys, which will take place in 2025,
Yeah.
is September 16th, 2023 to August 30th, 2024.
Okay.
So,
yeah, the album came out
She's
before
in
that.
dude, she's in the running for it. September 22nd, 2023. She made it by a week. So
Perfect. She better get nominated
Dude.
then. She better. It's a
Dude.
really good album.
if she doesn't get nominated, she's definitely gonna get like the breakout artist thing.
Oh, 100%.
Look at what happened
Yeah.
with like Noah Khan. Like
Yeah.
his
He didn't even
stick
win,
season was
too.
like
He didn't even win. I
You know?
forgot who won. I forgot our coverage of that. I forgot who won that. wasn't Ice Spice
Victoria
either.
Monet.
Yeah, you're right. You're
And
right.
Victoria Monet was also around for a bit too. So there is
Yeah.
like a
It's a
delay in
weird
that.
thing. Yeah, it's a weird
Yeah.
thing. But
But anyways,
we have spent a lot of time on this. We need to get to our main topic.
we do.
And I'm excited to talk about this, Benny. I am so excited to talk about this. So can I set the stage for this?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. So back in the early 70s when MTV started, music videos were a big thing. And who started that whole culture was Michael Jackson. Yes, there's music videos before that, but what blew up the whole scene was that music video for Thriller. That was, I watched a documentary on it. I read a book, Benny. Don't judge me on that. I know this as a fact.
Okay, so that was monumental. That
Yes.
did like what you're saying is correct.
Yes.
However, there needs to be some respect paid due to the first music video that ever aired on MTV, which truly set the precedent. And also, I believe it was Bob Dylan who released the first thing that we would classify as like a modern music video, before this all happened. But the true hero and like originator of like the modern music video is Video Killed the Radio Star.
Well, yeah, that was the
Like
first
that
on
that's
MTV. Yeah.
yeah.
But I'm saying what
Yeah.
changed
So
the
that's
game
let's
was
let's
Thriller.
Thriller was massive.
Because
That was
what
like that was
happened-
like the first like movie music video. Like there was a story to it.
There was a
you know what I mean? Like,
documentary,
yeah, that was a
video released, but also because MTV was predominantly white before Thriller, and that was a backlash. There's interviews with David Bowie saying, "Hey, we need to change
Yeah.
this. Why do you do this?" So like that
Yeah.
happened, that changed. It blew up. MTV became big, died out over time. So now we are here now. Over the years, we have gotten music videos that had an importance. Like I think the last big era, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, was during Lemonade, Beyonce's Lemonade. That had like a big presence with music videos, I think. And as someone,
yeah, it
just
was-
from my opinion, that was the last big era on music videos. Like that was like when it was important. It's kind of died down over time, but never gone completely away, ever. So now we get to now. And I feel like they are coming back to a presence because this week alone, we have seen 3 massive artists release big high budget music videos where even there's credit sequences at the end of these to have gaffers, all the people that make a film, basically, all those roles like production assistants and all that on these things.
the Billy one didn't have that, right? It was just Sabrina and Ariana.
Yeah. But, assuming Billie Eilish has started to direct her own music videos, so I'm assuming
Yeah.
she was heading that. So
And also, when we get into the Billy music
Yeah.
video, there's so much that I loved about it, and we can get to it
Yeah.
then. Maybe this is a good segue. We can start with Billy. If
Yeah.
there's anything else that you would like to say
The-
before we do.
the only thing I would like to say here is like music videos have always been important and add like an extra thing. And I feel like
Yeah, of course.
someone like a Chapel, and someone like a Sabrina, right? Chapel has brought back the 80s-ness to a music video scene. You know, like she's really put like Hot to Go's the music video goes hard, and I love it. And a lot of people do put importances on music videos. But like when I started to notice this trend to go off was with Sabrina's Espresso. Because when you watch that music video and what it establishes, she is a fucking star when you watch that music video for Espresso. That is like, okay, you guys like this song? Watch this. And they just blew up. And then now we are here now where she's releasing another music video. But yes, if you want to start with Billy, because I think that one is like the more modest of all these music videos that released this week.
That's a very good word to use.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah, modest is definitely a good take on it. I just love what I really admire about Billy is how much of a visual artist she is, in the sense that she is able to. Well, nice shirt. For those listening through audio, Wiley just showed us his Billy shirt that he's wearing right now.
I love this album.
But,
It's my favorite album of the year, everybody.
So it topped Ariana.
Ariana's been down for a while. Like Dua Lipa
Okay.
passed it, and then that. So yeah. Billie Eilish is number 1.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Respect. The album's grown on me too. Like listening to
So
the
good.
song. Yeah, listening to the song while watching the music video, like kind of put it in a new light for me. But what I love, she is such an estate, and she just really knows how to create like a vibe and an energy that she's trying to pursue or portray, I should say. And it's just this ominousness. And the story that she's able to tell through the video without the lyrics having to match the story even. And I loved how for the first 2.5 minutes, it was just a solid one shot.
Yeah.
Just following her. And that's hard to do. I don't know how many takes that took, but that takes a lot of talent. Even the cameraman who was like moving with her as she was like moving around. Very well done. I thought it was unique. I thought it was the simplicity and yeah, the simplicity of the video did so much for it, and like you said, modest, and I think it's a great word to use to describe it. Um,
Shout out to Alex
and
Wolf that's
I
in the
then
music
like
video, by the way. Do you know who Alex Wolf is?
say that again.
Do you know who Alex
Wait,
Wolf
you
is?
broke up. What did you say? From the Naked Brothers
Yes,
band?
he's in the music
That's
video.
crazy.
I love the Naked Brothers
Oh,
band
so that
making a
was him.
comeback. Yeah, that was him. That was Nat Wolf.
Is your nose bleeding?
No, it's
Oh,
just it's
sorry. It
like
looks like
chapped.
it was.
It's just chapped.
Oh, sorry.
I'll
I
cut
was
that
like,
out.
what's going on?
I'll cut
You start talking about Billie Eilish, and then your nose starts bleeding. It's so appropriate. Black liquid starts pouring out of my eyes.
Yeah,
Um,
spider comes out.
but yeah, dude, I really enjoyed it. I texted you when I first saw it. I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
And I love the juxtaposition from like being like this really dark, like, and kind of looked like a school or an insane asylum, a hospital, whatever the hell it was, going out to like an outside environment where the sun's setting and there's a lot of green and kind of like small townish. It was really, and also like being alone and that guy chasing her too. It just all worked. It was very cohesive in its emotional delivery. Really cool. What do you think?
So I obviously study films a lot. I'm a big film guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I always
that's
look.
good to mention.
I have to look at these things through that lens. It's just it comes with it, because of how much I've studied it and care about it. So when you look at it from that standpoint, there's been a lot of debate that this album is this song, sorry, is based off a movie from Hayao Miyazaki called I think it's Howl's Moving Castle, I think is the one, if I'm right. And she like posted a picture of the movie on her Instagram, so it kind of confirms that now. That's kind of just been a rumor, so it kind of confirms it. So I've seen that movie, and it's just a weird, wacky world and stuff like that. And I find it's fascinating. Is like we start with it with the one take of the doors closing and everything, and opening the door with the wind, and that was fascinating. And then the thing that really stood out to me is like it's more of a mood piece of a music video. There's not really a big narrative. It's kind of like looking for something, that's kind of, she's closing all these doors, kind of closing off. And then there's that moment where she walks in the room and it cuts and it shows the guy them fighting. Then she leaves the room and then the guy's not there anymore. And then like he appears in front and he becomes this ominous character. So it's
Also a good word to describe it.
Yeah. Like it's very fascinating because I think it's trying to say like I'm wanting to have this conversation. I wanted to fight, but so can you allow this door to be open to have this conversation? And I feel like the whole thing is her running away. There's constant movement of her moving and traveling. And then there's that moment where she's outside and she's full on sprinting and then he's chasing and then they're kind of fighting it out, having that conversation. I think that's what that represents. So, I think it's very indie film-esque type of filmmaking here, not saying a lot here, like saying a lot, but subtly, subtle commentary about the track and saying a lot, kind of talking about Howl's Moving Castle a little bit and just kind of doing that delivery. So I think it's very fascinating, this one. And I would like to hear Billie, what her thought process of directing this was she was trying to get across. Cause I feel like there's more that needs to be unpacked. And I have a hard time looking super deep into things and noticing the meaning. So yeah, I think it was interesting. Can we move on to, I hate to say this, but I think it's honestly deserves the best of the week in my opinion. And we'll continue. I'm going to move on to Sabrina Carpenter's music video.
I beg you don't embarrass me, motherfucker.
Good call.
So she released a new song, Please, Please, Please. And again, this is following her big hit Espresso. And I was going in like, I don't know if I'll like this song. I was going in because she like her album, we listened to it and stuff. I was like, I wasn't for sure if I was going to like the track.
Wait, before you move on, did you listen to the song at all prior to the video?
No, I watched
Neither did
the
I.
video first. So
So I think that for me, not listening to the song beforehand added to the surprise element of the music video for me
Yeah.
because it was such a good song.
Yeah.
Like that's a hit. I'm not saying it's going to be
Yeah.
like a top hit on radio, but that is a hit song. It's fantastic through and
It's
through.
already going
And one
viral
listen.
on TikTok. I don't know if you've been on
Oh,
this morning, but it
I
already
I
is.
haven't, but that's cool.
But I don't know who. Well, it does say the director on it. I don't know if you could look that up for me while I'm talking real quick and who the
Yeah,
director
sure.
is. It's impressive what her team is doing and what they're doing with their videos, because to have a Bonnie and Clyde esque story, because that's what it is when you look
Mhm.
at it, it's Bonnie and Clyde, to have who she's rumored or is dating to be in the music video to get the fans involved in there. Smart. To
Oh,
have yeah.
that is her boyfriend, I thought.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
gonna bring that
it's
up.
been a conversation. I wasn't for sure, but yeah. So this kind of confirms that. So that's smart. Like that's smart. If not, even if like I just wanted to be in this, maybe that what it was, but it's smart. And then to have the old aesthetic, which Espresso basically brought to her table, to have a Cyndi Lauper-esque sounding to the track, to having these bright and beautiful colors in her costume design, it is outstanding on how well this music video is, because I can mute the music and follow the music video in itself and be compelling in what it's trying to say. That's impressive. Then when you add the song, it adds another layer to it where it's just incredible, especially in the chorus of this track too, where her vocals, and it's kind of grown on me. Like, I will be honest, first listening to it, I didn't really like the track, but I've been going back to watch that music video multiple times, and I'm kind of
Mhm.
falling in love with the track. And funny enough, that's what happened with Espresso for me. That's the same thing that happened with Espresso with me. By the way, if you guys have not seen her SNL performance of Espresso, it is incredible. It is so good. Like, wow. But anyways, yeah, I think this music video is really damn good. And people, like, we were already saying in that video for her people to watch out and she's going to be next. It's going to happen very soon. If this album turns out, because we said in that video, if she continues with the sound of Espresso and continues to go down that route to make a unique sound that's catchy, unlike her previous stuff, even though it's got a lot of views, and we already established that. But if she goes down this sound that has a mass appeal that's unique and unique to her sound, then it's going to be massive how she blows up. This is just 2 singles, and she has done that. I am so excited for this album, dude, because of that. Like, holy crap. I feel like we're entailed of a lot of bangers on this album. But yeah, I think this music video is incredible.
But I agree. So for me, the biggest shock. Okay, I'm not womanizing. I'm not sexualizing her. Um, she is beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's she like a Barbie like model. Like if there were to be a second Barbie movie, I would bet money that they would cast her.
I'd rather do a Lipa
I
personally, but
And also, like I mentioned about Billie Eilish, she has obviously Sabrina has a different aesthetic, but she's going for this really like high fashion, like I don't know what the correct word would be, but she's playing into the Barbie like Regina George-esque, like very gaudy, flashy fashion. Um And I love it. And like even the glam. For me, what I loved about this music video, and I'll get into the music, or I don't really need to get into the music, but for this video specifically, the costume design and the set design, incredible. I don't know who did it. However, you asked me to find out who the director was when you were talking, and I did that. I don't know how to pronounce his name, so forgive me if I butcher it. But his name is Bardia, or their name is Bardia Zainali. And on their website right now, most recently, please, please, please. They did Vogue World Paris, Coding Grace, Never Ending Song,
okay.
Casey Musgrave, Star-Crossed, He's worked with Calvin Klein and Nike,
Mhm.
or they, or I don't know what the pronouns are. Vogue, Troye Sivan, and Casey Musgraves. So these are what are being
Does it
showed
say
on.
what Travoy song it is?
Yeah, easy.
Okay, I was gonna say it's gonna
Yeah.
be the one that was nominated for Grammys because that music video was pretty good.
Um. Yeah. So that's who. That's like
Yeah.
previous works.
Watch out for them.
Um.
Yeah,
Yeah, it did a fantastic job.
Sabrina's team is outstanding. I'll tell you that much.
Seriously, whoever did her glam, like the makeup, is pristine. That's like it's perfect. Like it's like so smooth and matted, and like her lipstick and the like. I don't know much
duct
about
tape?
makeup, but it's like art. It's literally she was it's art. It's crazy. She looks fucking stunning. Excuse my language.
I
She looks
love the
beautiful.
bright colors, like
Uh,
her getting in the car with like the bright neon colors. I love that. It's adding to the Cyndi
yeah,
Lauper sound that I was talking about.
dude.
So
The set design, the lighting.
yeah,
I also like the ending, how she like duct taped his mouth
yeah,
and like you know put a imprint of her lipstick on
yeah,
the duct tape. I thought that was kind of ingenious. It's pretty cool.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's very very creative. Love the
Yeah.
story. Love that she used this as a way to showcase her current relationship with this guy. I don't know his name.
Barry
Um,
Keoghan, he's a famous actor.
okay, yeah. Yeah,
He's been
I
nominated for
really think
Oscars. Yeah,
like when we were talking about the last discussion with the next big pop star
yeah,
or female pop star was originally like our take on it.
yeah.
I think this is cementing her.
Oh,
I
110% it is.
dude,
Yeah, it's gonna
and
be
also
a battle. Yeah,
just seeing how espresso's grown too. Like yesterday, I was in the car with my sister, and my sister Mary, and she's not like a big music person, but she was like, "Oh, can you play Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter?" Like it's been stuck in my head like the last week, and like just hearing her pop up in just casual settings with people that aren't music people. Um, I think there's a lot going for her right now, and I love to see it. I
yeah.
love to see that someone who's been in the industry this long is now finally getting this surge,
But
and she
not
deserves it.
yeah. I like that thinking because I agree. But what I really, really praise about this is that she had a sound. It was working, but it wasn't adding to her style and what she wanted to be from my point
Yeah,
of view. So she
yeah,
changed
yeah.
it with something like espresso, and then not only did it once, but twice, as in changing it, and it's blowing up because she's truly being who she wants to be. And I commend the shit out of that.
And something that I've learned to add on top of that, everything you just said, by the way, totally agree with you. Uh, So I mentioned to you that I interviewed with Niels Gums, who, if you happen to be listening to this, Niels, thank you again. For those of you who don't know who he is, he started the careers and managed artists like Anderson .Paak and Charlie Puth, Megan Trainor, Carmen, if you guys remember the song Broken Hearted. And now he works with artists like Stacey Ryan, Sophie Holohan, and so forth. So really like an industry veteran at this point. He's still very young, but he's very successful and he's been around for a bit at this point. And something that he spoke to me when giving me advice was this idea of the purple cow. And the purple cow is like, if you're in a herd of cows and they're all these different colors and then there's just this one purple cow, who's going to stand out?
The purple cow.
The purple cow. And why is that? Because cows aren't purple. And what he's gotten into and stressing the importance of what works with making people successful in the music industry and having these big moments is the element of breaking expectations. And I think Sabrina has done it twice now, going from espresso to please please please, which are different vibes, like
Yeah.
they're not the same. And it works, and they're both really really good. And I think the next few steps that her team takes, whether they release
Crucial.
another single before the album comes
Yeah.
out, I'm really confident that this is going to take off.
Yeah.
By the way, her performing on SNL 2 is massive.
Yeah,
That's
it's
like
so good.
that's huge. Like, so really, really awesome. I would agree with you. I think of all of the 3 videos,
yeah,
this one, I'm giving it to this one.
Yeah.
Like, which one of which one was the best? This is gonna be the title of the video or the thumbnail. I'm going with Sabrina Carpenter. Not to knock, I love Billie's video too, and I love how modest it was and ominous. Those
But-
2
but
words that
that's
you
the
threw in
thing.
while
That's
and steal them
interesting.
from you.
Billy's is my
Um,
third choice out of all of them.
And I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But I love the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
For
So
me.
let's transition to the third one.
Cool. Okay.
Ariana
do it.
Grande's
Boy is mine. I can't wait to try him.
which we did a video. If you guys have not checked that out, we like in person broke down the album. It was kind of a really fun experience actually to do that. Hopefully when bidding comes again, we could do something like that again with the album dropping. But I love this album. I honestly still do. I go back and listen to it. I think it's incredible. I still listen to Yes and on repeat. I love that track so much. This was a hyped up music video, and like from like what I was doing, because what was happening was she was like promoting it, saying coming out soon. She posted little clips about it. It was like, oh, who's gonna be the boyfriend? And it turns out to be Penn Badgley, which I just got done binging Gossip Girl for the first time, and he plays Dan Humphrey, and then he also plays the main character in You, which I'm also binging right now, trying to play my catch up game. So that there was a whole speculation. So I was like, I really like the album. I really like the song. I'm gonna look at this. So I got up. I was up early this morning, and I literally sat at the premiere with every Ariana Grande fan. And there was like over like 500,000 people watching the premiere of this music video. And I was sitting there, and so I was watching it, and I was like, really interesting. She's going through the more quirky fantasy route here, where it starts out with getting a love potion and talks about these rats infesting the city, and it's very Batman 89-esque of style that she was going for, even donning the Catwoman stuff there, and a very cartoonish esque, campy, I should say, this music video. And I think it's very strong in its production. I think it's strong in the costume design. I think Ariana Grande kills it. I love how it shows Penn Badgley doing like a speech about the city, and it cuts to her making comments, little snarky comments. I love that from Ariana Grande. I love her sass era. I love it so much. So like, I think this music video is fascinating, fun. I feel like Sabrina came to play today, and that's my only issue with this, So what did you think about the music video?
So for Ariana, this was the most theatrical, obviously, by far.
She is a
and that
theater
makes sense.
kid.
She's a theater girl. Like she's Glinda. Like, come on. She lived on Broadway. So there's a lot of theatrical influence, which I liked it. And like when I texted you when you sent me the videos, because this was Wiley's idea, guys. He sent me the videos, he told me to watch them. I usually don't keep up with music videos. It's not my thing. I'm just more of a music listener. That's what I try to focus on the most. And I like that you did this, and I'm gonna thank you again. But in this case, what was the most appealing to me was just how theatrical it was. I loved the DC like universe influence, the Gotham style. Her taking on this role as Catwoman, despite there not being any like true references to Batman. I guess for copyright purposes or licensing purposes, whatever it is. But it was cool. Yeah, like I thought like it was cute to see like the intertwining of cats. The intro where he's like, "There's a rat infestation, and we're going to release all the stray cats to fix it," or whatever. And then she's like, "That's genius," or something, whatever. Like, that's really smart, or something like that. I don't remember. She doesn't talk like that. I don't know why I did that.
I love the sass in it. I love it so much. I love the campiness of it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You said campiness.
Yeah, it's very camp.
Yeah. So
Not taken
yeah. So that
seriously. Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I was gonna. That was a word I was gonna like use too. Love the choice of vocabulary today, Wiley. You're killing it.
It's the film,
Um.
dude. It's the film. I know my shit. I know my shit when it comes to it.
s- but yeah, it was very campy. I enjoyed the aesthetic. I thought her costume was a little weird. Like
It's a
right,
scuffed.
like
It's a scuffed Catwoman costume. Yeah.
yeah, it was a little like I wasn't crazy about like I don't know what I it looked like reminded me of like what the fencing thing, but just like
Oh
with
yeah.
the bottom
It's like
open.
the newest Batman costume where Robert Pattinson's like it's like this. It's like a freaking helmet or something like that. It's not really a
Yeah.
mask. Yeah.
So she breaks into his apartment and
Whips him to
whatever,
the
and then
floor and stuff, and then he's like, "Wait."
yeah,
Yeah.
very, very like female dominatrix-esque. What I thought was really weird, this is the only criticism I'm gonna bring to this, and I warned you about this prior to starting the podcast, Wiley. There was a moment where she was laying on the bed and she's just
Why did you have to
and it starts
demonstrate it? No, no one wants to see that.
because
No one wants to see that,
some
buddy.
people want to see me lick myself.
No,
I don't know.
no, let's
Gotta Kate.
no, no. No one wants to see
Just
you
kidding.
lick yourself.
Just catering to the fan base, I could take off my clothes and like show my nips and stuff too, but I'll save that for another time. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see my nips. Just kidding. But I just thought it was really weird. Like, I laughed. I audibly laughed when I saw her do that. I was like, was that necessary? But
Yes, for Ariana Grande
but
it is.
there was some sexual like like the leather, the whip,
Yeah.
dragging him. Um, we got free. What's his name? What's his real name? Penn Badgley.
Yeah.
So we got to see some Penn Badgley feet clips. So like he did that for free. I mean, I'm sure he was paid, but like people they run to that shit. There's gonna be
Okay,
like
you were just running this conversation down the garden. So guys, if you're watching this, we have talked about every music video. So I would like to challenge you. If you are a fan of Billie or a fan of Sabrina or a fan of Ariana Grande and you don't really listen to the others, don't just go ahead and comment and say, "Oh, this is the best one." Actually give them a chance. Watch them all and then give your honest opinion of the ranking of them. I think who takes the cake is Sabrina. Bar none. I think it just on what the song did, what the style and the aesthetic and just everything about it was outstanding. Which I love Ariana Grande and I love Billie. So to me to say this is kind of crazy to me to say this.
I think you're becoming a Sabrina super
I
fan.
pre-ordered the vinyl, dude. I don't know if I mentioned that. I pre-ordered it already.
Nice.
But
So
yeah, we
to
have
add
to
on
do our
to that,
yeah.
sorry, do you want to finish what you
Yeah,
were
no,
saying
go ahead.
before? So for those who are listening via audio platforms, whether it's Spotify or whatever, again, I'll reiterate what Wiley said. Go watch the music videos. If you've got time and you want to contribute to the conversation on our YouTube channel, feel free to come and comment. We welcome your opinions. We love civil opinions. Be kind. Everybody, there's nothing right or wrong here. Come and join in on the conversation. We love seeing it. Yeah, and I just love I just think all three have really great aspects. I think I love the costume design in all I guess in both Sabrina's and Ariana's videos.
Yeah.
But I loved Penn Badgley's getup. I loved how he was dressed. I'm really into that kind of fashion. I love like how he was pouring whiskey. I just love that whole vibe and aesthetic.
You want to be Penn Badgley, and that's okay, Benny. Just admit it.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's
Dude, that
fucking
dude's
sick. I would dress
insane.
like that all the time if I could. 100%. I would dress like that. I love that like GQ like vibe and aesthetic. I love getting dressed up and going out like that.
So you would
Cool,
pick
that, like
so you would pick Please as well.
Ariana?
Yeah. No, you would pick Sabrina's as well, right? As your number one.
Oh. Yeah, and my reasoning for that, not only because how great I think that song is. Of those three songs, I think I like this. I mean, I need to listen to them more.
Yeah.
I can't just like throw these opinions out, but as of right now, my opinion might change. I think the Please 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 song of the three is the best. I was so surprised. I did not expect that from Sabrina. I thought the set design, I thought the lighting, and I thought the costume design and the video for Sabrina was the best of the three,
There's one
for
cool
sure.
thing I would like to mention before we
Yeah.
get to our last segment, and this has been a long episode. Sorry, guys, but this has been fantastic.
This is a great episode.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah. So one thing, the cool little side note about so at the end of the Espresso music video, it shows Sabrina getting arrested, and this one starts with her in the jail. Isn't that crazy? Like, it would be crazy if they matched the costumes, but they didn't. They didn't match the cost. As far as I know, they didn't match the costumes. So that's super cool that she did that. So it's kind of like you can watch them back to back, and it tells a narrative, which I think is awesome. But anyways, we've teased in the beginning. We are getting to our first edition of something you already know and love, but our first edition of Orange Juice. Okay, so basically what we're doing is the normal thing you guys know and love. We're going to go back and forth with two tracks that you guys should check out. We're going to do this quick so you guys can get this news quick and we can head out of here. So I'm very excited because this is a new part of the segment. So I wanted to share two special songs this week. So I'm going to start with one that I've been addicted to. And this is a new band of like kids around our age from New York called Laundry Day. And Laundry Day is about all these kids that kind of started in like this music school. They came together and started making music. They've been signed by a label already, had a pretty big deal, but not super massive, less than Turnover or the same as. And I'm going to showcase their song, Bitter. So check out a little bit of Bitter.
Tell me why don't you try to lift up yourself?
All right, so the next song in our Orange Juice segment today is from an artist, an Icelandic artist who actually performed or competed in the 2023 Eurovision Song Contest. And the song that he competed with was a cover of a song called Whole Again. And I need to check real quick. The original artist who sang this song was a band called Atomic Kitten. I don't know if you know the song, Wiley. But without further ado, this is Whole Again by Dottie Fryer.
So my last track for the Orange Juice segment is one of my favorite Oklahoma artists that needs to blow up and finally getting recognition with being on the new Twisters soundtrack as a feature. And she is on a feature on this track as well. So this is In Between by Will Dorado and featuring the great Kim Pomeroy.
How much longer will she stick around? I guess we wait and see.
My next pick, I'm super stoked about actually. So I'm not sure. I think I've mentioned this guy to you before, Wiley. His name's Xander Hawley. For those listening in to the podcast or watching the YouTube video, Xander most recently got recognition for being on a show called Cops, which I believe his dad's the executive producer of. And there was a song that went viral, a clip from it, where they're like a garage band playing out of their garage, and he's singing to the cops, and the song's called like Daddy Cop or something. But it blew up, and people wanted to hear this song as a single. I guess he was hesitant to release it, but recently he released it. And I think he's very talented. He has a great network surrounding him. He's collabed with a very, very successful artist, a multi-Grammy award-winning artist, a specific someone that Wiley loves with all of his heart. And I'm trying to figure out real quick what band he was in prior to this, because I have a friend who I mentioned his music to, and she was like, "Oh, he's from this band that I used to love," and I don't remember the name of it, so I'll throw it in the comments after once I figure out what it was, so I don't want to waste time trying to figure it out. The next song that I'm about to show you guys is a song called "Until We Get Bored" by Xander Hawley, featuring the one and only Phoebe Bridgers. You're welcome, Wiley.
What did you just say to me?
Love's like a call to war. I'll fight until
Well,
Yeah.
that was our first orange juice segment. We hope you guys liked it.
Banger
I
after
hope-
banger this week.
Yeah. I really saved that last song for you.
Yeah, that's
I was so
talk about a
excited.
Wiley song. That is a Wiley song. 110%. That is a Wiley song. 100%.
Cool.
It started in the first 5
Cool.
seconds. I added to my like songs. I kid you not. On my end, I added it. But I do want to talk about the Laundry Day song a little bit here because I found them and it was on my like albums that I wanted to listen to because I forgot how I came across it. Listen to the whole album. It's like 23 songs. It's a beast to get through. But man, are they incredible artists. They have incredible songs. We picked Better, but Breathe is another great song on that album. So like watch them out. Like, and they have a TikTok following and stuff. They're funny and stuff. Like they can sing their asses off. I've seen like live performances. They're damn good. Damn good.
Sick.
And then Kim Pomeroy, just check out her music, everybody. Like she's incredible. Like she is so good. Like if you're a fan of Phoebe and anyone in that field, Noah Khan, check out Kim Pomeroy. You will not regret it.
Hell yeah. They got maybe like 36,000 monthly listeners on
Yeah.
Spotify. We love providing platforms for people. So, work your magic. If you're listening to this, you made it this far. What's one listen? They're great. I don't know exactly much about them, but great first introduction. Thank you so much for sharing those songs with us today, Wiley.
Yeah, same with you. We had great
Thank
ones.
you.
Great ones.
This was a great episode. It was long, but this was jam packed with like really good content. I'm really happy with today's little discussion.
What was that little neck movement? Like doing a little jig.
Had to think about it. Had to like shake the word out of me.
Where can people find you on the social medias, Benny?
You can find me at Benny Cumella. I'm not going to spell it for you. You can look in the description below to get that. Wiley, where can they find you?
Wiley K. Todd on all social media. Still working on the best soundtracks of all time video. I know I keep on saying that, but once it's out, it's out. You would never have to hear me say it about it again. I'm really, really going to try that to get to short form content that I've been doing. I've been slacking severely, but extremely busy with everything. And as long as I'm doing stuff for a Fresh Record, and we're going to post a bunch of shorts. So don't forget to follow the Instagram as well at the Fresh Record Pod on Instagram to get those shorts here on YouTube, etc. We're going to try to throw those out so you guys get more of that stuff content too. Some of it will be exclusive that won't be on an episode, so you'll have to watch it to get that type of content. So but look out for little videos that pop up every now and then for new music or topics we want to cover. I'll be doing them. Benny will be doing them. So just look out for those. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. It means a lot. And thank you all for the support that has been given. It's been incredible to see and very fulfilling. So thank you.
Let's keep this ball rolling. Let's
keep
create
this
an avalanche
orange rolling.
Yeah, let's keep the orange rolling.
We'll see you guys next time
Orange.
on the Fresh Record.